Hey everybody, and welcome to the Hot Tag with your girl Izzy. Today, I am so excited and honored to welcome you to my interview, somebody who has been showing off and showing out in the pro wrestling industry. You've seen her on AEW Dynamite as she is the second ever AEW Women's Champion, and you may know her as the Native Beast. She is Nyla Rose. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I was a little nervous coming on here, Izzy. You are a tough cookie. I know
A
you like to
tough
get in.
cookie.
You like to hit it hard, but with that intro, I think I could play a little nice today.
Yes, I don't want you to feel intimidated, even though I am a tough cookie. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
everything I gave you, you just took it away. Not intimidated. I mean, I'm pretty sure I killed you in Among Us a few times.
You did.
So,
You really did.
so the intimidation factor, that's not an issue.
It's not an issue. Well, speaking of Among Us, I wanted to talk about video games since we were on Medusa slash Alundra Blazes Twitch stream recently. And I know over the pandemic, a lot of people, they've really gotten into video games. So has there been a game that you've just fell in love with, that you go back to every day? Which video game is it?
So there hasn't been like one game in particular. I am a gamer at heart. I've grown up on games. I love them because they're a great way to decompress.
They
Um,
are.
they're interactive media, basically. It's like being able to interact with the movie. You know, how many times do you watch a movie and you're like, open the door, go, why didn't you do that? Why didn't you? Why didn't you? Why didn't you? Well, video games, you can. You know,
Mhm.
you can take the lead and be that character. That's why I love video games. One of the reasons why I love video games. But yeah, there hasn't been one. I've been playing a ton of them. From God of War, I finally got around to playing that
Yes.
one. Fantastic story. Now I'm
Mm-hmm.
playing Ghost of Tsushima. So I
Oh, I've never
bounce.
heard of that one.
Oh, it's great. It's I don't want to say Assassin's Creed in feudal Japan because it's so much more than that, but it's in that vein. It's in that realm. So
Okay, that makes sense.
if you like those types of games, you'll love it.
All right. Well, I actually have been playing God of War. So when you said God of War, it's a fun one. I love
It's
it. It's
fantastic, right?
and I feel like I would want to live in like the snowy mountains, like doing my own
Yes.
thing. I feel like that would be me one day.
Oh, I absolutely I love Greek mythology. So I love how they,
Hmm.
they interwove all these like the mythology with the all the lore of the game, and it
Yes.
makes total sense. It's beautiful how they did it.
It really is. Now, I wanted to, so before we get into all the questions, we are going to be talking about your swag in a little bit. And I feel like a lot, you have swag,
I've
girl.
got swag, do
You
I?
do. You,
Okay.
whenever you walk to the ring, you're like, you're doing your own thing. No, I feel like a lot of that swag comes from your wife because she makes the most incredible ring gear. Like, I wish I can do that because I can't even sew a button. So I'm really jealous of her, but she makes everything imaginable. So is this kind of like a collaborative effort, or does she kind of just do her own thing?
Definitely a collaborative effort, but
Mhm.
I got to give her credit. It's not a 50-50 thing at all. It's majority her for sure. I'll have a couple of designs here and then, like, can we do this? Can we sprinkle some of this in there? And she finds a way to make it work. She's absolutely incredible. She's a costume designer by
Mhm.
trade. She's been doing that for like 20 some odd years. And just on a whim, I asked her, "Hey, you want to do some gear sometime?" She tried her hand at it and knocked it completely out of the park. And I was like, "That's it. You're my gear maker now." Like, sorry,
You're right. This is it.
that's
But
that's
I
it.
like legitimately her stuff is so incredible. I'm so jealous of her because I know I can't do that.
Do you want me to get her? You want me to break? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I do not know. I do not want to mess with her. I don't want to mess with you. You're intimidating, trust me.
Good. Let's keep that up. I like that.
Yes. All right. So I gotta say this: saying that you're a trailblazer is such an understatement because you have such a unique story. From inspiring other people to leading the AEW Women's Division, did you anticipate that your story, your journey, would have the impact it has had today?
Not at all.
Not at
Not
all.
not one iota. I don't see me how everybody else sees me. I'm just me.
Mhm.
You know, like
I feel like that a lot too.
like
So.
I'm just me. So I didn't quite register how big of a deal it would be for a lot of people. Like, obviously, I know my story. I know where I've been and what's going on. I thought it would make a little bit of noise. You know, I thought it'd be like the pebble in the pond. I
Yeah.
make a few waves. I didn't realize it would be as if the whole mountain had slid down and crashed into the pond and caused this tidal wave. I didn't realize it was going to have as much gravity as it did. But it is a beautiful thing to be able to for lack of a better phrase, and just kind of keep regurgitating the same thing, blaze a trail to
Mhm.
cause that shift in the world of wrestling and in the world.
Yeah, definitely. And I want to dive more into your groundbreaking career in AEW. I mean, many people consider you as the face of the company, and they are
Oh,
absolutely right.
the
So do you
cornerstone.
cornerstone? So do you feel like there's an overwhelming amount of pressure on you, knowing that there are fans counting on you to carry the legacy of the AEW women's division?
There absolutely is.
Mhm.
But it's not a negative thing. You know, it's a lot of us, and not just in the women's division, but I am speaking specifically about that now. But I mean, a lot of us at AEW, we're the way this product, the way this brand has come together from day one. You know, I forget which one it was, but one of the Jacksons, one of the Young Bucks said, "We're gonna go find some new stars. We're gonna find that next generation. You know, the undiscovered talents." And sure enough, that's what they did. You know, they
Mhm.
scoured the indies all over the globe, and they're looking for these people who you may not be as familiar with, names you may not know, and shone a light on them, and that's what they did. And definitely, like I said, specifically, since we're talking about it, the women's division, and
Mhm.
myself in particular, I like to think I had a pretty good career. I got to travel the world, but I by no stretch of the imagination was an indie darling. So being kind of cast overnight into the spotlight, I'm now not only representing myself, but I've got this whole company,
Yes.
this whole brand behind me now. So I have to be conscious that I'm not just representing Nyla Rose. I'm representing all elite wrestling. I'm representing Tony Khan. I'm representing the entirety of the women's division, and to that extent, the entirety of the women's fan base. So
Mhm.
there's, you know, there's a lot of people kind of counting on me. So that it's not lost on me one bit.
Well, I love that message because you can really tell that you want to be careful with what you represent. And I absolutely love that. And speaking of carrying a legacy, as a young woman or as a teenager, there is so much about you that I admire. But I know it's not just me, it's thousands of other people. I mean, from your swag, your presence, your confidence, there is so much about you that people look up to. So, what would you have to say to those younger people out there who are struggling to accept who they are and are trying to find where they fit in this world?
Oh gosh, see, I told you those hardball questions right out the
I
gate.
know what honestly when I was preparing this question, I got a little teary-eyed and I was like, wow, this is like a deep question. And I feel like you can answer that perfectly.
I mean, ultimately, I guess I would say don't take no for an answer. And I know that's kind
Hmm.
of vague, but you know what that means to yourself. You know what that means
Hmm.
in your world. You know, don't let no be the stopping point. Find out how to change that no into a yes. If it's the job you really want, why are you being told no? How can you make that a yes? If it's, you know, a school you're trying to get into, if it's a career you're trying to have, pro wrestling,
Hmm.
whatever it may be, don't let those no's stop you.
Yeah, oh my goodness. I love that. I'm learning so much during this interview. And I feel like the way your fans can continue to be inspired by you is by having their very own Nyla Rose action figure. And
I
many
would
fans,
agree.
yes, and I'm waiting for that action figure. But there are so many fans, they're waiting on their favorite superstar getting their action figure. So here is my toughest question yet. Which figure is hitting the shelves, Nyla Rose or Britt Baker? Because everybody wants to see a Britt Baker one.
I think the Britt Baker figure will hit the shelf with terminal velocity, because if I go into a store and I see one, I'm gonna take it off the shelf and I'm gonna throw it as hard as I can. It will literally
Nobody would
hit
see
the
it.
shelf. It will literally hit the shelf. I'll knock them out of the way, and then I'll hang the Nyla Rose one up so you
Perfect.
can buy it,
And
take it
everybody
home,
can enjoy it.
cuddle with it,
Do whatever you
sacrifice.
want.
Yeah, I don't know, whatever you do with your figures.
Well, I'm excited for the Nyla Rose figure. I have been waiting for a long time. Hopefully, we get that soon, maybe next week. maybe in 2 weeks, but we need a Nyla Rose
You and my mom might be on the same page. Every day she asks me, when is your figure coming out?
I feel like all moms do that. That's like a
They do.
typical mom thing. They just love their kids.
Okay, so funny story. This fun fact, Nyla Rose time. I think I had been with the company 1 week and she's asking me if I have an action figure. 1 week into
that
this.
sounds like something my mom would do. I'm sure she would do that.
Yeah.
Moms do that. We just gotta accept it.
It's a mom thing.
It's a mom moment.
It's cute. It's endearing.
Well, I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining me today. I had such a great time talking to you about your career in AEW, how you have literally trailblazed throughout your whole career. Just thank you so much for taking the time out of your day.
Izzy, thank you so much for having me. I know I give you a hard time online, but like I said, you're a tough cookie. You can take it.
Thank you. And you are a tough cookie too. Like, that's why I look up to you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh my goodness, this was so much fun. And thank you guys for tuning into this episode of The Hot Tag with your girl Izzy and Nyla Rose. We will see you guys next time. Bye.